another successful DreamCon. We did it.
It's the only way to do it, brother.
Look, somewhere sunny, sweating with 2 spritz in my tummy. I mean ravioli and a pizza with the honey. I'm O for the week, you dummy. Tending her tone with a Sauvignon Blanc. Been a long week, she do not miss home. She's topless up in Marseille, France. It's 98 degrees, so the sunscreen on.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Welcome to DreamCon 2022. Welcome to the DreamCon 2025 vlog. Shout out to Houston, Texas. You know, we're used to being in Austin, Texas. This is the first time being in Houston. First time for, I think, a lot of us to actually have gone to Houston in general. The new convention center, man. Yeah, that's the one right there. That's the one right there. That's what they needed for sure. This year was a little different. Okay, so the group that we went with was the biggest group that we've gone with to date. 4 of us, it was the 3rd time, obviously the 4 of us on the podcast, me, Troy, John, and Zach. Then Cornisha and Raina were 2nd timers, and then everybody else was 1st timers. So that was a bit of a different dynamic. And then we were all sort of in kind of different spaces for the first time. Wholesome HQ was 6 of us. So that was myself, Cornisha, John, Matsamela, Raina, who was there last year, as well as Justin, who was supposed to be there last year, didn't get to go last year, but finally made it out this year. The 6 of us had a pretty consistent experience, but we have like 2 other pods that had some slightly different experiences. So I'm going to try to incorporate as much of their stories and their sides and experiences. Yeah, let's just go straight from what I'll consider to be day 0. Touchdown in Houston, baby. John, Matsamela, Raina, and Justin were all on the same flight.
Jack in the Box.
And Cornisha and I were on a different flight. And it was really cool because when we landed, we just so happened to actually run into them at baggage check, like our baggage claim. Oh, wow, look.
It's them. We found them.
Someone was trying to get us when we first got off the plane, off the high Uber. We was like, nah, we finna lift it.
On Lyft, it was 82.
Oh, there was 82.
Yeah, so I skip him. Next.
He said, wait.
Right. I do 75. This is what happens when you take Michiganders to Texas. Everybody got hoodies on except for this one. I don't know what's up with him. He got the memo.
I knew he had signed.
I knew to get time.
Shout out to this first, I don't know if it was Uber or Lyft. We're not sponsored. We pulled up in a Dodge Durango and it was 6 of us. It was not designed to actually hold 6 passengers.
He said this is not legal.
Hey now, we gonna get there.
Now.
We gonna make it. John, you doing all right up there? Nice and cozy.
You know what I'm saying? I'm cool, man.
Hey, go ahead and stretch out a little bit more for all of us.
This air is nice.
$14.
$14.
The Airbnb is 30 minutes from the airport, so like this wasn't no quick little, down the street. We were squished and pretty uncomfortable for this ride, but we made it.
Honestly, nice as hell. Huge. It feels like there's like 5 floors.
It was super nice. Like, could have probably had like 2 other people.
I thought we'd like walk into a living room or something.
Okay, that's the garage. Okay.
Here we go.
All
This is what
right.
I was expecting to walk into.
This is cute.
Full bed.
Me and Matt were sharing a room, which was smooth. It was like we was off the 2 twin beds though.
Cornisha did not.
Come on. Yeah.
And then another floor on top with a balcony.
This is what now? You gotta be kidding. This is the best view we could have ever got.
Nothing in it, but it looked nice.
Metal cooling, whatever that means. Whatever that means. Oh, twin metal cooling?
Twin metal and an ice master.
Where's that at? Ice Master. And he's trying to get his Switch set up, and so In that process, he discovers that he doesn't have the HDMI cord. At this point, this is when all the planning started kind of flowing and just figuring out, okay, we're going to eat at this point. We wanted to take a trip to the liquor store as well as find this HDMI cord.
So, what exactly happened?
That's what I'm trying to fucking figure out.
Banged on the Switch? The Joy-Con busted?
Yeah, this Joy-Con busted up out here. But I'm trying to push it back in.
Oh, wow.
I would definitely be mildly irritated. Mildly irritated.
Hey, the new one's coming out, right? Yeah.
Just being able to walk
Switch two.
around when we first got there was pretty cool. It was a different vibe than Austin. Austin was a bit more like suburban and kind of like everything was in pretty close proximity.
The architecture is just crazy in Houston in general, I would say. It's just all the landscapes and the architecture is just super beautiful.
Everybody get in the shot. Hey.
We ended up deciding to go to the liquor store first because it was going to close. It was called LOL Liquor Store. It was like a 7-8 minute walk, something real quick. Unfortunately, there was no HDMI cord there, so we kind of kept moving, right? Figure out that there's a CVS nearby. At this point, it's probably like 8:30, 8:45 or so. We finally make it to the CVS, and the CVS is about to close at 9. When I tell you the people in the CVS, like the workers in the CVS, they were not playing. We walked in and they were like, on a big announcement, we close in a couple minutes, shutting down the registers. Please be quick. So we're all scrambling.
2 minutes. 2 minutes. Record timing. Golly. I watch your head. Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
So we made it out, brought everything back to Airbnb, and then figured out what we were going to eat. We found this place called Rodeo Goat, also in walking distance. Cool place.
The food was pretty good. They got some goat balls.
They call these goat balls. I don't remember what they are.
It was kind of like a mozzarella ball. Like it was literally cheese inside like a fried dough, but then it had this blackberry compote. That's how you say that word, compote? Compote?
Goat balls all around. All right, get to a ball, man. This is that what Remy was talking about.
Our waiter Gunner, he had a rough start. I'm not gonna lie, he was playing way too damn much for me.
We not mad at Gunner. You know, Gunner messed with us, so we don't mess with Gunner. It started off rocky though. I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, shout out Rodeo Goat. It fed us, and then we walked on back to the Airbnb.
We were gonna go out, but we ended up hustling, playing games. Plus, I feel like we all just hadn't like been together in a while anyway, so it was just like a really good time to catch up with everybody.
The first day was definitely just for the vibes.
Look. So now it's Friday, the first day of the convention. Everybody's excited. Now, let me pause real quick and remind you. So it's the 6 of us at this point. And it's only the 6 of us at this point because Troy and Zach are still not actually even in Texas yet. So Cornisha and I took our fitness-centric minds and said, let's get up and go to the gym.
Ben and I were able to get up at like 7 and go to the gym.
Right here.
And the gym is right
here.
We did back and core. It was a pretty good workout. We're leaving, and there's a man in there thinking of me. I couldn't believe it.
So yeah, the gym was cool. Shout out BFit Gym. We come back and we start to figure out our badge pickup as well as breakfast. If there's anyone watching that has never been to DreamCon and you're watching this with the hopes to go to DreamCon one day or potentially looking for some tips when it comes to going to DreamCon one day, there's an opportunity to get your badge Thursday, so the day before the convention begins. Hear me when I say, if you can get to that early badge pickup, I beg of you, get your badge during that time period.
Lines were kind of weird.
The line was just very the line would just wrap around and around. Just ended up talking to one of the workers or volunteers there, and he was just like, honestly, man, you could high-key just slide up in here whenever you want.
People everywhere, and just a whole bunch of disorganization, just trying to figure out what line was what. People just moving in all different directions. It was just a bit of a hassle. As soon as we got into the room, walked straight up to the desk, got our panels, we were good to go. And then even with Justin and Reyna, who had just like normal weekend badges, the line went really, really smooth. Oh, and Matt was with us too to get their normal weekend badge. The line went really smooth for them as well. So once we get in the room, the badge pickup is pretty easy, but it's just the trek and the line and all that kind of stuff to get there. Disorganized, I'll be real. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
What that say? Hold on, what that say?
That's like
Handle
panelists.
up.
You feel me?
Handle it.
Shout out to that panelist badge.
I heard badged up. I heard. Oh, and we back badged up. We back badged up.
So we get our badges, and we figure out food. Harry's was fantastic. I'll be real. It was okay. Hold on. I'm sorry. Let me paint the picture a little bit. I know you guys are seeing some of the video, but it was raining like this whole morning. And by this point, by the time we were about to get breakfast, it was like really about to kind of storm. It was still hot though, so the rain kind of felt nice. Harry's was good. Harry's was good. So we ate, headed back to the Airbnb, and that's when everybody was kind of just chilling and figuring out what stuff that's happening together, like what panels and everything are we RSVP for, what things do we want to see and add to our schedule, and what's essentially like the first thing that we actually want to get to. Cornisha and I were the first two to leave the Airbnb. We changed into our cosplays and started making our way to the convention, and this is really when, you know, day one gets going. Day one at DreamCon, we're finally actually heading to the convention. We're in our first cosplay, at least my first cosplay.
Yeah, my only cosplay.
Soul Evans and Maka. About a 20-minute walk to the convention center from our Airbnb. I think Matt and John are coming to the convention pretty soon. I don't know. Let's get across there. I don't know when Raina and Justice are going to make it. Troy and Zach still are not even in Texas, unfortunately. They are on the way. They're on the way. They're getting here tonight, so we're excited for how this first day is going to go. Oh, it's lean. That's lean. Made it in the con. We made it in the con.
When Ben and I got there, we started at a DJ set, the DJ battle. It was a DJ battle. It didn't start yet, but they just had random DJs up there playing really good music. You know, we were in there turning up a little bit. I love to dance, so you know, I hit a little 1-2.
We realized that the opening ceremony is getting ready to begin, and we have RSVPs for that event. So we went to the opening ceremony and basically stayed long enough to just see like RDC come in. They had a marching band this year. I'm glad that we did that, and then we bounced right back over to the DJ battle. We didn't stay all the way to the end of the battle. We stayed to see a good amount of the DJs though. And then we just kind of decided to get a better lay of the land. So we went over to the gaming exhibit or gaming hall, just kind of checked that place out.
That first day, we were mostly at the bazaar. They had a ton of shops of any and everything.
We were actually at the vendor site for quite a while, just checking everything out.
We actually just so happened to have run into everybody else at this point. So we were just doing our lab, Cornisha and I, and we stumbled on John, Matt, Raina, and Justin. Hey, come straight here? Thanks. Fire, actually. It was like all R&B. Got a little mute. Are you gonna put this like on your desk?
Something like that, bro. Have it on display somewhere. I'm trying to get more of the figures.
Some real like unique stuff too, man. Definitely some really cool picture prints and just kind of artwork and stuff.
I just need to wet my whistle.
Wet my whistle.
What's this one? Orange.
I need to
Orange cream Coke.
I had worse.
Bro, Justin, we're trying to get the sponsorship.
Oh, you know what? Take another sip. Goddamn.
Right. Bet on it, bet on it, bet on
That's what I'm
me.
trying to buy trap karaoke. I'm trying to turn that shit
Oh,
up.
word, hey.
Turn it up, right? Oh, yeah.
That's so funny. So it's called Better Butter, right? Is it better than butter, or is it just butter?
It's butter that's better than every other butter that's out there.
First thing that we actually ended up going to that was like on our schedules was the panel featuring Earth Gang.
It was really interesting. Like, it's always, I really like hearing music artists talk about like their journey to stardom or how they figured out, you know, how they enjoy what they do. And it's always entertaining watching people from the crowd ask questions too.
I put on a show, made the people believe. You see karaoke and don't move an inch when you get off the stage. You think you will lead, I say go out, but see, I'm gonna start.
I think after that, Cornisha and I went to the like all-star volleyball game.
After we saw Earth Gang, we ended up meeting up with John and Matt, and we went to go eat some food. We ended up getting appetizers, but John, Justin, and I got the same thing, which were chicken quesadillas. They messed up my man's food.
That was another one that we actually had to be RSVP'd for. And this one was just really cool because it had like a lot of content creators. It was cool to see Agent and Cinna and Mari and Cam and Peyton, and RDC was playing. Mark wasn't playing, but I know Dez and Dylan were playing. Ben was playing. Yeah, it was really fun just to watch that, and I was glad we were actually able to make our way around the room a bit to find some pretty solid seats.
Over. Oh, Desmond with the strike. Will it be the end? Not overtime.
We watched that for a little bit, and then we headed back out to the Airbnb for a little bit. At this point, the day was actually already getting pretty long, I'll admit. I know I only listed like a few things, but like all these things took like a long chunk of time. So update. We are done with the first full day of DreamCon. There's gonna be a ton of footage, probably some narration, hopefully some confessionals, explaining everything that happened. But this is just like the transition update. We just left the volleyball tournament. We went to Brothers and Sisters Tacos. Or I guess it's just Sisters Taco Truck.
Yeah, Sisters Tacos.
Sisters Taco Truck. Justin and Raina went to go get food at the Rustic. They claimed that they messed up their food at the Rustic, so he's gonna go find some more food, not at the Rustic.
They messed up my man's food.
We got our food. I don't know what John and Matt are doing. John had actually an RSVP ticket to the Meg Thee Stallion, like the Meg Thee Stallion panel that none of the rest of us were even able to get. So he went back for that and one other panel.
I only saw a little bit of Meg Thee Stallion. I don't even want to get all into the whole RSVP fiasco.
Troy landed safely in Houston, so I just called him.
We made it down there. And for a second there, it was looking like we were not going to make it to DreamCon. I'm not going to lie.
Zach, hey, he's going to make it here eventually.
I didn't pack until literally Thursday. I was low-key waiting on some cosplay stuff. I didn't even do a great cosplay or have like a elaborate cosplay like scheme. And it's just like a jersey. I was just gonna wear a jersey, some shorts, and I don't know if you can see it, but I got like a medium size. I should have got a large, like this right here. Oh, it's terrible. We get in, but like I get in at like 5. Really at this point, I'm just trying to get settled, make it to the convention center. I unfortunately did not get a panelist badge. I don't know, they wasn't messing with me like that for some reason. But I did actually run into Kenny Knox. I also was like, hey bro, what are you doing over here? If you creators X, Y, and Z like kind of have a different experience going to DreamCon and stuff. And he was like, I'm trying to get my badge. I rode with him for a little bit, helped him try to get his badge.
Me and Nisha got matching outfits, and we about to party tonight. We're going to the Earth Gang after party.
We just like hung out until it came time to go to that. And so, yeah, the 4 of us went to that. And it was just weird. just the whole culture of going out in Houston is definitely different from one Austin, but way different from Detroit. It was real just spectatory. It was just sit somewhere in like in a booth or a section. And again, this place was like a bar and grill, so it was just weird to maneuver. I don't think I might have some footage, but probably not a whole lot. It was pretty uneventful as far as like the actual nightlife went. I'm be honest. The majority of the fun of that evening was just us like hanging out before we all left in the Airbnb. Honestly, that was nice.
Okay, you're not in the right section.
It wouldn't be DreamCon without a good roach in the Airbnb.
Yeah,
that boy's sizable. Do your job. And now for day 2 or day 3, because we started at day 0. Basically, this is the second day of the convention, the third day out in Houston. Yes, this is a different day that I'm recording this. That's why my dress is different. Shut up. Day 2 of DreamCon begins with us going to grab breakfast. This is when we finally link up with Troy and his brother. We finally got John in the back. See, we got John in the back. John's in the back.
He ruined his lucky.
How we feeling? Wow. You're going really fast.
Zach's here too, but Zach didn't make it up to this breakfast, unfortunately. But we hit up Snooze, which is actually a restaurant that we went to previously at last year's DreamCon out in Austin.
It wasn't too bad either. It wasn't really nothing super special. I feel like nothing like a Houston, specialty or nothing like that. But it was nice to have breakfast with the crew.
How many roaches did he have in straight? The roach slayer. The roach slayer, bro. Think about this, might be the dirtiest thing I've ever met in my life.
The first panel that we went to on this day was the one featuring Leon Thomas. Now, this wasn't our first time seeing Leon Thomas at DreamCon. He was there last year, but it was on a bit bigger of a panel. This year, it was just kind of a one-on-one interview with him, and then, of course, they opened it up for Q&A, and it was great.
I didn't really hit too many panels, I felt like, this year. One, because day 1 and day 2 normally are like not the biggest, but are kind of like the most important days. Not if you come into the Wholesome Hot panel, though, which is on day 3, Sunday, just saying. But we'll get to that in a second. And because I came in late already, I was like, man, I feel like I was missing kind of a lot of it already. So I didn't really check out a whole lot of panels, to be honest with you.
Directly after this, we sort of moseyed around the gaming hall and the exhibit hall a little bit.
What's the next?
Thank you.
How was Leon Thomas?
Good. It was really good. There was a lot of girls trying to flirt with him and stuff in the Q&A for sure. Yeah, it was like hard.
I love mud.
Quick little side quest that Cornisha and I went on was we sampled, I guess, this like physical therapy piece of equipment, massager thing that just like constricted our muscles. It was kind of an interesting feeling, but after that, she and I knew that we wanted to take like some real nice pictures in our cosplays. So we took a break there and we actually went right back to the Airbnb so I could change into my cosplay that I wanted to wear for the day. Cornisha put on her cosplay from the day before because she only had the one cosplay for this weekend. So we went back and did that.
I almost just pulled my groin.
On the way back, we took some pictures of our other cosplay, and then he switched into the one he's wearing now.
One of the events that we really wanted to go to was Bay Brigade. There's a lot of footage from this event. You'll probably notice a theme. We really enjoy like music events and energy around music, so we had to make sure we made it out to this one.
Make me happy.
The whole the rest of the group at this point was actually already back at the Airbnb, just kind of chilling. I think everybody had already gone to every like program or panel that they'd wanted to for the day. So we made our way back, and everybody just kind of chilled. This was our first night where Zach actually made it to the Airbnb, which was, finally a moment of the entire group being together, which is great. Shout out Zach and Hope that were able to make it to the Airbnb this night.
One of the key highlights of the trip was hustling at Ben's Airbnb with the rest of the team. Cornisha and Raina were kind of teaching us the new dances because we only knew like 2 or 3 of the hustles. There are certain ones that are a little bit more advanced, or I just never grew up with them, so I didn't know what they were. It was a really good time just being with everybody. Finally, for the first time after we got there at 12 o'clock the night prior.
We went out that night. Let's talk about Houston nightlife. Okay. I, for one, miss Austin. I'm not gonna lie.
I feel like there was a lack of energy. Like people weren't really dancing, or like there wasn't really a sense of community. Houston is bottle wars, blah blah blah. Everybody kind of flexing on each other. It wasn't really like, I feel like a lot of intermingling when we was there.
Third Ward is cool. I've kind of heard that is maybe like a lot of my Uber drivers were saying like that was kind of the spot to go. Maybe if you're looking for, I don't want to say the ratchet, but the ratchet, kind of the turn up like that, if that's what you're into. It was just kind of okay. I think you probably need to know somebody from there to really kind of get the full experience. I low-key wish we had stayed at wherever we had went before. Even though it was completely empty, we was lit, and it was fun, I'm not gonna lie. So, free water. Man, free water, and not just a million people kind of standing in the same area. But, I mean, it was cool, though.
This was a really nice day for, I think, the group. I think we all just had like a really good time together. So I really did enjoy Saturday a lot. Panel, baby. Panel was at 2 o'clock on Sunday. We really needed to go over it first and foremost.
I had left all my stuff the previous night at Ben and their Airbnb, and my phone was dying, and it had my charger in it. And my brother ain't got no type of charger for me, so I'm like, frick, if I can't get over there, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I tried to get over there early, and I was able to, and got the charger and X, Y, and Z. We go over panel.
Zach, unfortunately, was not even able to make this little prep session, and he was trying and saying he could call in and all this kind of stuff. And being that this was not our first time doing it, we just kind of said, you know what? You'll be able to plug and play and pick up, and get right into it. So we went through it a good once, really. That's about it. And then we said, okay, let's go get breakfast.
What's the barbecue place, if you remember the name of it? It really wasn't super special, but it wasn't bad. It was nice for breakfast because I think at this point, I'm not sure if my stomach is jumping or not. Jam bar or something? Yeah, jam something. Yeah. They were jamming actually in there. The little boy with the whatever you want to call it, just playing it. Washboard, right? That's funny. We eat, go back to the B&B. At this point, we hustle on over to the convention center, moving it from the B&B to the convention center. Didn't even know where the room was.
What we should have did is like a day before, 2 days before, whatever, when we first got there, we should have officially found the room. I think Cornisha and I were the only two that had actually even gone up to the 3rd floor, which is where the room was prior to Sunday. Knowing that like how it was designed, the way I described it is like Severance. It's like just a maze. See what I'm saying, Troy? It's like an ant colony. There's a bunch of squares. We were like on the back side of this. On a mission. We're like, okay, we got to find the room, get comfortable, get set up. We probably get there around like 1:40 or so we had a good amount of time.
We make it into the room, and I was not expecting the room to be as big as it was.
When we walk into this room, when I tell you, so I knew the room was going to be bigger than last year. I did not know it was going to be this much bigger. The actual room itself, probably 4 times the size of last year's panel. The like seating, probably about 3 size, and then they had like a huge, stage up front, the podium, and then there was also some room on the side because they had actual like DreamCon tech like staff there to assist with the panel. Oh, gentlemen, just for Wholesome Hot Takes panel. Okay, yeah, we're the panelists getting set up.
Do you have content?
We do have like a presentation. We had to walk in and just do this all ourselves last year. This year was definitely a bigger production. Now, real quick, something that I have to mention. Zach is not here yet. So we're looking around and Zach's texting us like, what's the room number again? All this kind of stuff. We're like, oh my gosh, just get here, right?
Ran into some people that had been to our panel last year too. That were like, man, I had to come out and support, so that was tough.
And say, oh yeah, what's up guys? I remember you from last year. And I'm like, what? You remember us? Man, that's pretty dope.
That was an incredible feeling. Just the fact that not only do they get to once again like follow the journey, but that they wanted to actually go to our panel again, but they also get to see it grow in the way that we got to see it grow ourselves. Zach walks in at like 1:59, like just in time. Like I'm standing on stage like, all right, I'm about to get this thing going, and we finally see Zach walk in and everything is just like falling right into place. Cornisha was helping out, passing out some of our materials. Troy was passing out. Everybody was helping out, hands on deck. It was just ready to go. It was go time, and it just felt great. And at this point, the room started to fill up more and more and more.
And it got packed out. We like, it was only a few people when we first got in there. It was definitely packed out.
Dog ass turnout.
It's a lot of people in here, and more people are still coming in. We got as many of those popsicle stick signs out as we could. You know what I'm saying? If you got one, if you're watching this right now, I want you to take it and just, relive this moment with me. And if you didn't get one, listen, you might just have to come and get one next year. Have we ever really explained to them how the panel works, or no? In Light, it's like you go in there and you kind of vote either a side or like your own sort of like opinion. And it's all about questions that we pose to you, like while you're there, where they're kind of like hot takes about maybe the best main character or the best villain or the most sympathetic villain. And we have you basically decide which side you kind of feel resonates with you, or you can have a chance to voice your own opinion.
It's an honor to be able to provide that space for people and really open up the floor. That's really what we do with our panel.
And the beauty of our panel every time is that the audience normally just goes crazy. When I say go crazy, I mean go crazy. They're the ones that share their hot takes, so we're not getting flamed, and I love it.
Some good ones, some not so good ones.
That was just really dope hearing everybody's opinions, kind of hearing a whole bunch of anime stuff that I didn't even know about. I'm not well versed in anime, honestly. Bringing up stuff that I never even heard about. There was a big old argument about Apothecary Diaries. Never heard of it.
There were some in there. We had one dude, he was losing his voice about how Goku was a great father. And I was like, you know what, man? Talk your stuff.
At the end of the day, Goku was a good dad he was dealt a bad hand. Raditz came down to Earth, ended up killing Goku, which forced Piccolo to go off. It wasn't by choice. And when Goku was alive, all he wanted to do was spend time with his family.
He is a horrible father. Shout out my man's Piccolo for picking up his kids.
It was really cool. We had some, like I said before, some real hot takes, some real controversial takes.
Some real strong opinions. I just wish we could have took a couple pictures after. We was definitely rushing.
There was a panel directly after ours, and when I say directly after ours, in the same room, directly after ours, when we were wrapping up, there was like people coming in like, yo, can you make an announcement for everybody to get out? Because we need to like set up for ours. Conversation went up to the last second when I tell you, like, they were having a great time. They didn't want it to end. We didn't want it to end. So I do, wish we had a little bit more time afterward just to connect with some of the people that attended our panel. If you're watching this and you attended our panel, thank you. Hopefully you really had as much of a good time as perceived. That's really what I'm trying to say, is like it seemed like everyone had a wonderful time. If not, let us know, give us some feedback, because we do hope to do it again. It felt great that it went well, but it also felt great in the sense of it being like a big relief. This was the last like objective of our DreamCon 2025 mission. It was all these like check boxes on this big mission, and have a successful panel was checked off in that hour. So just blessed for that opportunity, truthfully. Alright, wait, where's Troy?
Yeah, I think I was like out of it. I think I used all my energy for that because I was super out.
So directly after that, we were like, all right, let's hit the exhibit hall one last time. We done took a bunch of laps throughout this weekend. Let's finally find whatever we gonna purchase and get out of here. This is what I ended up buying. It's a skateboard deck, but it's got Bakugo on the back. So pretty cool piece of artwork. I'm gonna definitely hang this up somewhere in this room.
We'll show the energy sword, bro. You feel me? I did not think that this was gonna fit into my luggage, bro. Ben even saw it. He was like, bro, I don't know how you're gonna get that in there, but I found a way, bro. Shout out Brownell, because champions gonna always find a way, bro.
We did go to the final panel of DreamCon, and that was the panel featuring Dominique Thorne, who was in Black Panther 2 and is going to be the star of the upcoming Marvel TV series Ironheart. The main reason why I wanted to go was just to sit down for a second. I feel like I was coming down from all the adrenaline from the panel, and like I just was starting to feel the weight and like the fatigue of the weekend on like my legs, feet, shoulders. Everything was just like, whew. So it was nice to just like sit in a cool room and soak in the last bits of DreamCon. We did not go to the closing ceremony this year. It just didn't seem like it was worth it, to be frank. Yeah, that was really DreamCon. My overview, this was a very, very successful DreamCon in terms of, again, that checklist that at least I know I created for like what would make this third year a success. Pretty much everything was checked off. There's a couple things that I want to still like really do on like my DreamCon bucket list. I want to go like crazy on a cosplay next year. I hope that the panel continues to get bigger and better. I want to get more networking with like some bigger content creators done, but I really love this one. This was a really, really great DreamCon. I like that we had a bigger group. I hope our group gets even bigger next year. I hope that everything goes just as smoothly, because this was like a very well-informed trip. I think that's really what played into like our benefit.
DreamCon 25 was a vibe, and I'm very excited for next year. I pray and hope any DreamCon people seeing this, you continue to let us do a panel, because it kind of just goes up every single time.
Looking forward to coming back, making some memories with the guys.
I'm looking forward to DreamCons in the future, whether we do panels, whether we just hanging out, you know what I'm saying? I'm just happy for the experience. Happy it's going to be in July next year, you feel me? So
I hope to continue to just like make really, really fond memories, and I hope to continue to like share these with you all. I think this is something that we get to do a little bit different than just our normal podcast episodes, and you get, you know, hopefully entertained in a slightly different way. So I appreciate you all for wanting to even watch something like this. But thank you too, you know, because we wouldn't even have the opportunities to do stuff like the panel if it weren't for us having at least a little bit of a following. So we appreciate that too. But I guess this is my time to say until next year. The goal and plan 100% is to be back next year. So until then, vlog narration Ben is gone. Shout out everybody that, you know, sent me footage to help put this together. Shout out everybody who did a little bit of narration. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do it perfect next year. I tried to step it up this year while in DreamCon, and we kind of failed. This next year, that's 100% getting added to the checklist. So I'm gonna be on y'all heads next year. Everybody that's coming in the Wholesome group, man, we're gonna put a beautiful vlog together for everyone that's watching here. So until then, I'm gone.
Thank you for the time. What a weekend.